Good morning, guys. You just finished a book with Miss Corbin, and so we're going to move into a new book. This is a different author, but I thought the book was suiting as we are ending our school year together, we're in the last quarter, so I thought it would be kind of neat to have a book that pays tribute to an amazing teacher, because I'm sure that you guys have had an amazing teacher in your short time at school. So the title of this book is Because of Mr. Terupt. And I'm going to read you the summary on the back so you have an idea of what it's going to be about. And as I read the summary on the back, I kind of thought about children, you guys, in our classroom this year that kind of fit these descriptions. So I'm interested to see if maybe you guys in your own minds, don't post it, have students or peers, classmates that you kind of think could be these characters. 7 kids, 1 amazing teacher, and the school year that changes their lives. It's the start of 5th grade at Snow Hill School, and 7 students find themselves thrown together in Mr. Terupt's class. Peter, the class clown. Jessica, the new girl. Luke, the brain. Alexia, the queen bee. Jeffrey, the slacker. Danielle, the pushover. And Anna, the shy one. They don't have much in common, and they've never really gotten along. Not until one certain new teacher arrives and helps them find strength inside themselves and in each other. But when Mr. Terupt suffers a terrible accident, will his students be able to remember the lessons that he taught them? Or will their lives go back to the way they were before 5th grade and before Mr. Terupt? As we read this book, it's organized in an interesting way. So we have a part 1, part 2, and then within each part, the chapters are separated by months. So we'll post them. I'm going to try to read a month at a time because some of them are pretty short. We'll wait and see as we're reading because some are too long. Then we'll have to do it in 2 days. But we'll just see how it goes. Part 1, September. Inside the chapters, the month chapters, they're also organized by student. So this first one is Peter. So it's being told from Peter's perspective and introducing us to the character Peter. It's our bad luck to have teachers in this world, but since we're stuck with them, the best we can do is hope to get a brand new one instead of a mean old fart. New teachers don't know the rules, so you can get away with things the old timers would squash you for. That was my theory. So I was feeling pretty excited to start 5th grade since I was getting a rookie teacher. A guy named Mr. Terupt. Right away, I put him to the test. I want you guys to think back to the first week of school. How many times have you put your teacher to the test just to see, what can I get away with? What will she not allow or he not allow? A rookie teacher. I'm curious what that must mean. It says before that, new teachers don't know the rules, so you can get away with things the old timers would squash you for. So I'm thinking a rookie teacher must be a new teacher. You think so? I'm thinking so. If the bathroom pass is free, all you have to do is take it and go. This year, the bathrooms were right across the hall. It's always been an easy way to get out of doing work. I can be really sneaky like that. I take the pass all the time, and the teachers never notice. And like I said, Mr. Terupt was a rookie, so I knew he wasn't going to catch me. Once you're in the bathroom, it's mess around time. All the other teachers on the floor were women, so you didn't have to worry about them barging in on you. I can think of a few of you that like to exit the room and go to the bathroom and play for a little bit. Grab the bars to the stalls and swing. Try to touch your feet to the ceiling. Swing hard. If someone's in the stall, it's really funny to swing and kick their door open, especially if he's a younger kid. If you scare him bad enough, he might pee on himself a little. That's funny. Or if your buddy's using the urinal, you can push him from behind and flush it at the same time. Then he might get a little wet. That's pretty funny too. Some kids like to plug the toilets with big wads of toilet paper, but I don't suggest you try doing that. You can get in big trouble. My older brother told me his friend got caught and he had to scrub the toilets with a toothbrush. That's a wonderful consequence, I think. He said the principal made him brush his teeth with that toothbrush afterwards, too. Mrs. Williams is pretty tough, but I don't think she'd give out that kind of punishment. I don't want to find out either. When I came back into the classroom after my 4th or 5th trip, Mr. Terupt looked at me and said, "Boy, Peter, going to have to call you Mr. Peabody, or better yet, Peter the Peer. You do more peeing than a dog walking by a mile of fire hydrants. How many times have you walked your dog? Every single fire hydrant, and sometimes even every single tree. They seem to have to go to the bathroom. Everybody laughed. I was wrong. He had noticed. I sat down. Then Mr. Terupt came over and whispered in my ear, "My grandpa used to tell me to tie a knot in it." I didn't know what to do. My eyes got real big when he said that. I couldn't believe it. But that didn't matter. Mr. Terupt just went back to the front board and the math problem he was going over. I sat there with my eyes big. Soon, a smile too. "What did he say?" Maddie asked. Marty's desk was right next to mine. "Nothing," I said. Ben and Wendy leaned across their desks to hear. They sat right across from us. Our 4 desks made up table number 3. Mr. Terupt called us by tables sometimes. "Nothing," I said. It was going to be my secret. How cool was Mr. Terupt? His reaction was better than being yelled at, like the old farts would have done. Some kids in my class would have cried. Not me. And somehow, I think Mr. Terupt knew I wouldn't. It was his way of letting me know that he knew what was going on without making a huge stink about it. I liked that about Mr. Terupt. He sure could be funny, and I'm a funny guy. This year, for the first time in my life, I started thinking school could be fun. Jessica. Act 1, Scene 1. The first day of school. I was nervous, somewhat. The sweaty palms, the dry mouth syndrome stuck. This wasn't surprising. After all, I was coming to a brand new place. My mom and I had just moved all the way from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean over here in Connecticut. So it was my first day in Snow Hill School. My mom came to help me get settled. We walked through the glass doors and beautiful entryway and stopped in the main office to ask for directions. A red-haired woman who proved to be exceptional at multitasking, she's not Dr. Hasty, is she, greeted us with a smile and a slight nod. She did this while she had the phone rested between her ear and the shoulder, allowing her hands to scribble notes from conversations she was having with her free ear, with her brown-haired lady standing next to her. We waited. My fingers dug into the hard cover of my book. Think about all these symptoms. Have you had these before when you've gotten nervous or anxious? Sweaty palms, clenching things. Ooh, I've been there. "Hi, I'm Miss Williams, the principal." This was the brown-haired lady speaking. She looked serious, all decked out in her business suit. "Welcome to Snow Hill School. Can I help you with anything?" "We're looking for Mr. Terupt's room," Mom said. "I'm Julie Reitman, and this is my daughter, Jessica. We're new in town." "Ah, yes, it's my pleasure to meet you both. Let me show you the way." Mrs. Williams led us out of the office. I glanced at the secretary one more time. She'd be a great character in one of Dad's plays, I thought. My dad directs small plays in California, where I still really wanted to be. "How are you today, Jessica?" Miss Williams asked. "Fine," I said, although that wasn't really true. We followed Miss Williams across the lobby and upstairs in search of my new 5th grade classroom. The halls smelled stuffy but clean, like they'd just been disinfected. I wondered if the custodians had done that on purpose to make a show of how clean their school was. I followed Mom down the blue speckled carpet and past the rows of red lockers where some kids were already unloading new supplies. I could feel all their eyes studying the new girl in town. After the stairs came the whispers. My face burned. I wonder if her face is burning, how she's feeling. "Here you are," Miss Williams said. "This is your floor. There are 4 classrooms up here, all 5th grade, 2 on each side of the hall with bathrooms right in the middle." Miss Williams pointed as she spoke. "That's your classroom," she pointed again. "Room 202. Have a good first day." "Thank you," Mom said. I just nodded. Act 1, Scene 2. So Scene 1 was coming into the office. Scene 2 must be, walking into that classroom as the new girl on the first day. We walked into the classroom. The teacher looked up from his desk and smiled at us. The butterflies in my stomach fluttered as if I were on a tilt-a-whirl. "Good morning, I'm Mr. Terupt," the teacher said as Mom and I walked in. He came right over to greet us. "Good morning," Mom said back. "I'm Julie Reitman, and this is Jessica." I think she's a little nervous, being a new student. My tongue felt so swollen that I couldn't talk. I settled on returning Mr. Terupt's smile. It was a friendly one. "Well, this is my first date, too, so I guess we'll try to figure things out together," he said. My smile grew. "Your seat is right over there at table 2. You're with Natalie, Tommy, and Ryan. Being near the windows should give you some good reading light. That's a great book you have there, Jessica." I looked down at my book, A Wrinkle in Time. I rubbed my hand over the cover. "I really like happy endings," I said. "Me too," said Mr. Terupt. "I'll do my best to give you a happy ending this year." I smiled again. I couldn't believe it. I don't know why, somehow he made my butterflies disappear and my tongue shrink. Things were going to be okay. All right, I'm going to stop there because it's been a little over 10 minutes, so we didn't quite finish the month of September. But I want you to think today about Mr. Terupt so far. So we've learned about the relationship so far he's established with Peter and with Jessica. And I want you to comment below with some of the characteristics of Mr. Terupt that you've seen already. So remember that characteristics are things that describe the kind of person he is on the inside, not what he looks like, not the outside, but what kind of person, kind of teacher is he showing us already that he is through his interactions with Peter and with Jessica. And we'll be back tomorrow to learn about Luke and Alexia and Jeffrey and Danielle and Anna. So everybody that we talked about at the beginning. See you guys in class in a little bit. Bye.